G'day, friends and fans. Welcome to Writing Corner. Write often, edit more often. But before we begin, I'd like to remind you that this channel is sponsored by you, the viewing audience. And I'm your host, the author, David Applegate, author of the book, The Boyhood Arcade, book one of the Empire of Elves. Links in the description below. Now, what do I mean? Well, we can't always, but we should try to write something every day, whether it's 10 words, a paragraph, a page. Every bit helps. Try to set a few hours a day of writing at least. I know a lot of writers get quite happy in a rhythm and can write every few days, could write a few novels. That's fine. But writing is one of those skills you learn by doing. And you have to edit often. See, if you edit often, you correct them. The more mistakes you correct now, hopefully in the future, you'll make less mistakes. Now, I have a disorder, so I make a lot of mistakes often. So I'm always I'm writing and editing all the time. But I've learnt still that I'm actually able to at least pick up on some of my most common errors, like and. Now, there are many mistakes writers make, chasing trends, trying to write the same book as some famous writer did. I mean, sure, a couple of well-known plagiarists have. I mean, Shakespeare is the most plagiarized out there, but there's a few writers who've gotten away and become quite successful. In fact, some of the top people have been accused of, settled out of court, of course, plagiarism. It's a misfortune, but it's common and rife in Hollywood, and it's often gotten away with. But I try to urge people not to make that mistake, not to think that they can get away with it, because the vast majority don't. And look where Hollywood is. Is it really worth it? Look at Netflix canceling series. People, writers who were earning thousands of dollars a day are now bankrupt, broke, out of work. People have sold out for short-term gain, thought they got the big money, thought they're going to have jobs forever, paid for by the public. Those are just writing is hard, and the only way to get better is to keep at it and edit as much of yourself as you can. I'm not talking about censorship. I'm talking about mistakes. I'm talking about common mistakes that every writer makes, whether it's the blurb, the story, the structure, the commas. There's always mistakes that every writer makes. And it's almost unanimous that writers, while they start to excel at spelling, most never master grammar or punctuation. Most of your top writers, they have editors and ghostwriters. Some writers churn out books every few months. That's at a seemingly impossible rate. Yes, they are using AI. That has been proven. They're a team, not as individual. We've seen that often with big published, where they're pumping out. Try not to chase the dragon. Set your own goals. Be your own person. And if you can churn out a bestseller, congratulations to you. You're 1 in 10,000, maybe less. Maybe 1 in a million, who knows? But for the vast majority of us, don't stress over success. There isn't, unfortunately, there just isn't a nice way of saying it. There isn't a comfortable way of saying it. And I know it's hurtful. I know it's hurtful when we see bad writers succeed. But it's the story. They wrote a story that might not have sold 10 years ago. Remember, it's luck. You can have the best story in the world, but if it's not in a genre or in a style or well marketed, no amount of marketing, do not fall. Every writer falls for this, getting told that you've written a bestseller, now go out and market it. The best marketing in the world cannot make people without money buy. People out there are throwing good money after bad on marketing. I'm sorry, but the vast majority of marketers are lying to you. They cannot market. There are very few who could turn things around and, yes, get you more publicity than a few $100s. But they're doing multi-million-dollar marketing campaigns for big corporations. And the establishment, the writing establishment, you look at it, they want $10,000 just to look at your manuscript now. That's ridiculous. That's corruption. But it's a publisher's market. They have far more of us trying to push our books. They've already got more authors on their payroll than they can afford. And with every political hack, every journalist, every superstar, every pop star now, practically anybody who's done anything has now got their book, And most of these personality books, yeah, they become a bestseller, but trust me, you're not going to learn anything about being the best basketballer in the world by book. Or, hey, I've read Ice-T's book. It's a good tale. I don't believe it. I don't believe half of it. But it's a good tale. But I wouldn't buy it. It was a gift. I wouldn't buy it. I don't like these political biographies. I think they're all self-serving. I don't think learned anything from them. Same with these how to write. Other than the art of writing, or how to edit, or the English book, or the concise book of English grammar. Yeah, if you're into writing fiction, why would you be reading nonfiction other than how to write, how to improve, the art of writing? Samuel Clements, I think that's the best edition. Write what you know. Write in your style. After all, eventually, it becomes easier to tell the stories you know and write in the style you know, and allow yourself to improve through editing, through writing again and again. Hemingway said, write 100 pages, keep one. He was onto something. And he's not teaching you, he's not saying, write like me. He says, he never said that. He just basically said, write and keep writing. He would write pages every day. And he'd go through them, sort the stories. He had the stories he wanted to tell, and he'd sort them. He was often years overdue for a book. But he was concise, consistent, and that came from years of hard work and years of dedication to writing. He'd given up on adventurism long ago. The Spanish Civil War taught him that adventurism is nothing but the road to ruin. that the best adventures are lived up here, and the best adventures we live are through our writing and telling stories to others. Because you can relive them, you can do it over and over again. We're going out and into some arcane situation for which you're ill prepared and not really well suited for, because you thought it would be a bit of fun. Yeah, you learn the hard way. You might make a good story or two, but eventually, I think the best stories ever told have always come from fiction. Even though the truth is stranger than fiction, I think the best stories out there have always been fiction. Look at the stories we love, the stories we embrace. Dune, Star Wars, yes, even Harry Potter. They're all fiction, works of fiction. You look at all the great detective stories, Agatha Christie, prolific works of fiction. Oh yeah, but I think that motto, write often, edit more often, works. Couldn't think of anything better to say. I mean, I know Hemingway was very poetic. I write 100 pages and I only keep one. But yes, he also said, write drunk, edit sober. That's good too. Always edit sober. Because he wrote drunk, because he was a firm believer that our ideas are locked away by stress, and he had a hard life that gave him a permanent stress. And I hope that none of you really do that to yourselves. Take it from personal experience. Hard drinking, painful, 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 painful. I've had liver problems. Fortunately, and I had my gallbladder removed and the appendix at the same time, and I had a hernia. I didn't even still get pains. No, I think if you're a writer, be a writer. That's where it's at, and measures your success in the audience that you manage to attract. I'm not saying that if you can't afford it, don't market it. I'm not saying don't market it, but trust me, I've looked into marketing. I still haven't got all the figures and numbers. I should really do an expose and really show people and really prove to me. If you want to prove me wrong on marketing, go ahead, market my book. And you'll see that the rate of return on marketing is less than the increase in sales. And it's always been like that. The marketing is about influence peddling. It's about manipulating the market, and only big players can do successfully market. And we've seen that. Thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, YouTubers, hit that notification bell. And one way to support the channel is to buy coffee mugs and other items in my Etsy store, 10% off. And another way to support the channel is become a patron. I have a second Patreon for RPG material, and my book links are in the description below in my link tree. My books are available in ebook, paperback, and audiobook. And of course, you can always buy me a coffee. Ko-Fi link in the description below. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.